Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Good Boxing Podcast with your host, Josh Saez. Today, I have a very fantastic episode for you. Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua is a done deal. No more talk about it. When Bob Arum, ESPN, come out and say something, not for anything, it ends up coming to fruition. And the fact that Eddie Hearn has mentioned it and the fact that Bob Arum has mentioned it, I think it's pretty much a done deal. A lot of people are trying to say that, oh, hey, we got to wait till the end until the bell rings, and essentially that until the fight starts, we don't know what's going to happen. But I think these two guys need to get in the ring. It's the only fight that makes sense, and quite frankly, I don't see another fight being made. Tyson Fury coming off that dominant performance against Deontay Wilder. There are no more hiccups with the whole Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury trilogy anymore. Now it's time for the undisputed championship of the world to be on the line. Who's going to win? Is it a competitive fight? Truthfully, I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm a Tyson Fury fan. I think he can box. I think he's the better fighter. He has more tools in the kit than Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, I became more of a fan after you redeemed yourself versus Andy Ruiz, where you dusted yourself off, put the blinders on, stopped listening to all the haters and whatnot, and just got in the gym and took care of business against Andy Ruiz to get retribution after that arduous task that you faced in the garden. You had to pick yourself up. You were undefeated. You had all the laureates. Everyone was trying to anoint you as the next big thing, and you lost. But you came back. You got back in the gym. You didn't change trainers. You didn't blame heavy body suits. You didn't blame anybody. Truthfully, you just came in, went into the gym, started hitting the bag, started working with your trainer, and you started to say, "Hey, look, I need to come up with a game plan that's going to beat Andy Ruiz." And we know how that ended. You came back. You looked spectacular doing so, and you did what you had to do. Right? There's really nothing much else you could have done except that. However, after the fact, I'm not going to sit here and say Anthony Joshua didn't come back stronger. I'm not going to sit here and say that Anthony Joshua didn't do fantastic against Andy Ruiz in that second fight. But Tyson Fury is a different animal. You saw Tyson Fury step up to the baddest man on the planet Earth in the heavyweight division with the most mighty right hand and absolutely dominate him. He said he was going to knock him out after the first fight where the judges didn't want to give him his proper due. I'm a Fury fan 100%, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that Deontay Wilder won that first fight. I thought Tyson Fury did enough to win the fight, and sure, he knocked him down twice, yes. But other than that, I didn't see another Wilder round. I thought it was a complete shutout for the most part, except for those two rounds where he got dropped. And if you do the math, worst case scenario, let's say you give one round to Deontay Wilder, it's still not enough to win the fight. And look, say what you want, but I'm glad the second fight went the way it did. There was no questions. All the questions were answered, and there was nothing left for there to be answered. He destroyed Wilder. Wilder came up with a bunch of excuses. He whooped his ass so bad that all of a sudden the heavy suit was the issue. All of a sudden his trainer prepared and basically plotted with Tyson Fury to spike him. Why? Who knows? He said that he was jealous of Wilder. Why would Mark Brillen be jealous of you? He has a storied career. He's held in high esteem. He's a Hall of Famer. You're a guy that picked up boxing late, and you owe your entire career to Mark Breland. So cut the noise. Then it was, oh, Tyson Fury's gloves, etc., etc. There was just a million and one excuses, except the fact that Tyson Fury just whooped your ass. And I'm sorry to say that, but I still respect Wilder. I feel like he comes back, and I hope you come back because I'm a fan. I was a fan, and sure, I got a little distaste for how you went about the whole thing. But regardless, you're still a formidable champion. You still have that heavy right hand. And Wilder beats a lot of the top heavyweights right now, for the exception of I would say probably Tyson Fury. And I probably would have to go with Anthony Joshua. But even Anthony Joshua, I think Deontay Wilder can certainly do well against Anthony Joshua. I don't see anything Anthony Joshua doing that could guarantee a victory versus Deontay Wilder. So that's besides the point. But look, Tyson Fury gets in the ring with Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua can't outbox him on the back foot. So what is that going to make him do? He's going to come forward. Now, I don't know if you saw the fight with Klitschko, but Anthony Joshua does struggle coming forward against guys that are taller than him. When Klitschko chose to box and kind of chose to get on that back foot, Klitschko again has a world class jab. He has a heavy right hand. And you saw what he did to Anthony Joshua. He dropped him, right? It was, I thought he was actually going to win the fight. I was going for Klitschko in that fight. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought Anthony Joshua was done when he got hurt. Anthony Joshua showed grit and showed that he is the real deal. He showed that he could come back and do what he had to do to win the fight. And that's when the fairy tale and the story of Anthony Joshua, the hero, started. He got his ass up off the floor, came back, and did what he had to do to win the fight. However, Tyson Fury is just a totally different animal. On the back foot, Anthony Joshua is not going to be able to get inside. You've seen it several times. Everyone tries to press Tyson Fury, and no one has been able to bust him down. Derek Chisora tried, couldn't do it. Stephen Cunningham tried, couldn't do it. You had Deontay Wilder try to blow his doors down, and he almost succeeded. In the first fight, he almost dropped him, and Tyson Fury looked like he died. But the legend of Tyson Fury was born that night as well. It became a huge fight after Tyson Fury got up, beat the count, and then came back and actually showed the blueprint for Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, too. So say what you want, explain it the way you want, but I'm going to sit here and say Anthony Joshua cannot fight on the inside with Tyson Fury. He can switch, he can go be lefty, fight the whole fight. Anthony Joshua has issues with lefties. I've seen it several times in a lot of different fights. I do not see a way Anthony Joshua can figure out the Gypsy King's code. He just won't lose. Tyson Fury is the best in the world, and he's going to be undisputed champion. I get there's two fights, and you know what? Good. I'm glad they're giving two fights to Joshua because he does deserve to get paid for taking on the risk to be great. Unfortunately, he's going to fall short, and I don't think it's a very close fight. I think Tyson Fury possibly can knock him out in the first one, but I see Tyson Fury winning easy regardless of it. And I'm not sitting here saying that Anthony Joshua's a punk. I'm not sitting here saying he's a pushover. But when you look at the quality of boxing, you cannot deny the fact that someone that's 6'8" to 6'9" is huge and moves like a middleweight is not going to be a nightmare for anyone. He's taller than you. You're not used to being the smaller guy. He hits arguably harder than you because you saw what he did to Wilder and you saw that he's sitting down on those punches. He can do it all. And Anthony Joshua, unfortunately, if he tries to box on the back foot, I see a lot of leaks in his defense. He has a leaky defense, gets excited, is kind of tight, and I could see either a left hand hitting him over the top or a right hand hitting him over the top. I could see Tyson Fury landing devastating body shots, dropping the hands, making Anthony Joshua drop his hands, and then over the top, Tyson Fury could finish him. Whatever happens, I am excited that the fight is signed because it is time to determine who is the best in every division. I don't care what division it is. I just want to see who is the best. I'm tired of talking about, oh, money this, money that. We're counting millions for people that are millionaires and are fighting for millions of dollars. I'm tired of discussing pay per views, A side, B side. Let's just see who is the best and keep it old school, just like the Marvin Haglers of the day. Marvin Hagler just passed away, and let's honor that guy's name by fighting in his honor. Fight who you got to fight. Fight who you have to fight in order to show you are the best. And I'm happy that both of these gentlemen, regardless of the outcome, regardless of the fact that I think Tyson Fury is going to whoop that ass, regardless of everything, I'm just happy that it looks like the fight's going to happen. I'm tired of talking about, oh, is so and so going to sign? Is this person going to sign? Top rank this, Eddie Hearn that. Both of them said it. If the fight doesn't happen, we both know who to look at, Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum. I'm over it. I think the fight's going to happen. Where it is, I don't know. I'm kind of torn between the whole thing. I was actually on the Lights Out Boxing podcast. If you don't follow them on YouTube, feel free to follow me. We actually talk about this whole fight and I kind of give my take on where the fight may be. I do think the fact that Tyson Fury is promoted by ESPN and is primarily a ESPN's primarily a US broadcast for sports. I can see a fight being in the US given the fact that our lockdown is a lot less than the UK. UK makes 100% sense for the fight to take place there, right? UK, both fighters are from the UK. You put it in a soccer stadium, you put it where fans can travel. And I know personally, if I could get there, I'm going to watch that fight. I'm so hyped for this fight. And I just can't wait for Tyson Fury to finish the comeback that he started so many years ago. He was 400 pounds. You know, he was trying to kill himself. He was on top of the world and almost lost it all. And I want the story to end the right way. Beat Anthony Joshua 2 times, go off into the sunset, maybe fight an Andy Ruiz, or give Deontay Wilder his trilogy, get a big check, and then just live your life. Maybe develop other fights, promote fights, whatever it is. I want the legend of the Gypsy King to be potentially one of the best heavyweights of all time. You can say whatever you want. I know people like Tyson. I know people like Ali, but Tyson Fury, there's never been a heavyweight like Tyson Fury. And I'm not trying to disrespect anyone else, but the guy does it all. He can switch, he can bang, he can box. He's just an enigma. He's a special individual and pretty much an alien. I'm just going to be honest with you. He's unique in that sense. So this is the boxing podcast for today. Follow me on Instagram at Good Boxing Podcast. Thank you so much for all the support. And if you do want to watch me kind of go off, I'm going to post this on IGTV, but also on the Good Boxing Podcast YouTube channel, which is Good Boxing Podcast. Thank you so much. Feel free to follow Spotify, Apple. Thank you so much again for the support. And you just don't realize how much it means to me. Thank you.